Greetings, my friend. Welcome back to my YouTube channel with another video to help you be fit and live free. I'm Matt Schifferly, and today is answering a question from the RDP mailbag asking, Matt, if you're not really big on tracking calories, how do you know what changes you need to make when you find yourself getting a little bit softer and you're losing your abs and you're gaining a little bit of weight, as you inevitably do sooner or later throughout the course of your training career? And this is pertaining to my latest podcast episode, Things You Thought You Knew About Calorie Balance. Our body is always in a state of transient transition, and there's always influences over our health and fitness and weight level that we just can't control. So when we're really good about diet and exercise and healthy habits, it doesn't mean we're gonna prevent our body from changing, sometimes in ways we may not like. It's just about making the fluctuations smaller and less of that big pendulum swing back and forth. So when it inevitably happens, and I'm making a YouTube video or I see in my mirror, I'm like, oh boy, a little softer, oh, the pants are a little tighter and stuff. What do? Well, it's simple. It's because when we have a more stable approach to our diet, which is what I recommend in most cases other than tracking, where your dietary habits are very stable and consistent. What you eat, and when you eat, and how you eat and stuff is very consistent. So naturally, whenever I'm starting to get a little softer and you're like, oh yeah, a little softer in the face, I'm like, well, no kidding. My workouts are completely MIA. I'm drinking a heck of a lot more these days, as far as alcohol especially, and I'm eating takeout so much, I've pretty much converted my blood type to MSG. So no duh, of course it's very apparent on why I'm getting softer, and therefore it's easy to correct too. I'm like, okay, not drinking as much as I've started doing, not eating out as much, making more meals at home, and getting back into regular, consistent training rather than just being distracted from the workouts. Doesn't always mean you're being quote, lazy and watching TV and stuff. Is a lot of times just work and life and travel and everything else is getting in the way. And that's the way that we can really hone in on managing our weight better. It's not necessarily through tracking calories through my MyFitnessPal and stuff. It's much more of just having that self-awareness of what is our normal habits that helps us control a normal level of weight or body fat. So when we are not at our normal, consistent level of body fat, we know how our habits are no longer normal. And that way you can have those fluctuations be smaller and less noticeable rather than big things and then you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, things are way off the rails, I had no idea. Now it may behoove those who are beginning in their journey of fitness and weight management to have more tracking to get more awareness of it. But over time, you should have more of that self-awareness so you don't necessarily need to be tracking and measuring everything in order to have that self-autonomy over your regulation of food, diet, exercise, and body fat levels. Hopefully that makes sense for you. Let me know if you have questions down below. Be fit and live free.